Recording. 3, 2, 1. All right.
How you doing?
Okay. Everyone, welcome to our second episode of GWV podcasting on the road, right? This is our second guest, Mike. Mm-hmm. I'll let you introduce yourself, Mike.
Yeah, I'm Mike Reeves. I'm the most of Florida representative for GW Vape products. Everything from our two vape lines, which is Club Gold and the Switch. Also our pouches products, which are right now nicotine pouches. And also we've got coming down the pipe caffeine pouches, caffeine pouches, and some nicotine lozenges that are coming out that are in product development right now. We think they're going to be huge hits. The vapes already are. The pouches are gaining a very quick following, so we're excited.
Okay, Mike. Don't look at the camera. Look at me.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you wanted me to go that direction.
We're having a conversation.
Okay,
right?
my bad.
No. We're not going to cut. We're going to keep going.
Okay, good.
Okay. So, Mike, tell me more about yourself. Like, how did you end up getting with GWV, working with the company?
It started. I just got a quick call, quick LinkedIn hit from the, I guess, I'm not even sure from where, actually.
We'll just say, he who shall be named unknown.
Yeah, and it was through a connection through, I guess, Pablo and Miguel, then started a couple conversations with Gonzalo, and then from Gonzalo and Grant, and then eventually Pablo. Really liked the opportunity and what it represented. It felt more like getting a chance to own a territory or a franchise and basically from the ground up, and seeing these types of products that I did not have any background in. I come from whether it's industrial or commercial packaging background, or basically Jansan janitorial maintenance type of stuff, and just entirely foreign to everything that I've done in the past. So I saw the opportunity as being something really, it could be really, really good. So that's what drove me.
Got it. I mean, so how's the journey been so far working with GWV?
So it's been great. It just when you're getting something off the ground, you feel that it's almost feeling like you've built something and you're trying to get people, just look at it, give it a chance, and then when you know you've got a great product, then you just that's what you're feeling. Just get in front of people, let them see it, let them try it, and once they do, then they're going to see it's a far superior product, and they come on board. It's interesting, and it's almost like you're just trying to will something into existence, and when it's like something my mother used to tell me. You can have a skill set, but you also have to have a will set, and your will set is what pushes it over the finish line. So, but this one, it's opportunity. You can have all the skill set you want to, but if you don't have your will set, then you've just got to keep pushing. Just push. But once you start getting attention, then it's proving to take it to launch itself, and once enough shops come on board, or shops or whoever sells vapes, once they start taking off, it's just going to blow up. And I'm excited for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, myself as well.
Yeah.
So speaking of customers and coming on board and whatnot, what's the most interesting, I guess, hesitation or pullback you've had from, whether it be a customer or a retailer, distro, whoever it was?
It's an interesting time in Florida. Florida, Florida passed technically a vape ban that technically went into effect October 1. Okay, there's a lot of shop owners and distributors that it is amazing to me that do not understand the law. And true story, my very first going into Fernandina Beach back at the end of September. And the very first shop I come into, I meet the owner and we chatting, showed him our Switch product, and he told me, he said, "You guys picked a terrible time to come out with a really great product." And I was like, "Well, there's never a terrible time to come out with a really great product. And he said, well, he pointed to all of his disposable vapes behind him on his wall, and he said, yeah, see this, come Monday night, I am throwing every one of these away. I'm like, well, why are you throwing those away? He goes, well, they'll be illegal on Tuesday morning. And so I had to tell him, to educate him about the vape law. And I'm like, and all the way down to showing him the actual law, and because the misunderstanding was they thought as of October 1, all flavored vapes in Florida would be banned. And I had to show him, well, no, they're going to create a list which the vapes that the state of Florida deems attractive to minors. And I had to explain to him that list doesn't even exist yet, not until January. And when that list becomes available, then you still have until March to sell your inventory out. And so luckily, long story, not quite as long, I convinced him not to throw what he said was $6,000 in inventory away. He kept it on his shelves. I did, however, playfully suggest that he could, if he wanted to scratch me a check for $2,000, since I saved him $6.
Yeah. But pop you a good 40.
Exactly. So,
drop you a 40.
But that's been the biggest challenge so far is I'm having to do a whole lot of educating. Because honestly, a lot of the shop owners just don't know, and I think the state of Florida know the law, and the state of Florida, I'm sure, did that intentionally because it was all over. The ban goes into effect October 1. Ban goes into effect October 1. But I think they were looking to see exactly who would throw away, who would stop selling ahead of time. And as I'm visiting these shops and the distributors and I'm educating people quickly as fast as I can to say, we're number one, GW Vapes is not going away. Number two, you can still sell everything on your shelf from now until March. So once I'm educating enough, then that is the biggest roadblock right now. The biggest roadblock right now to having us really, really, really taking off is just the education and just the timing of this law coming into effect. But outside of that, the sky is the absolute limit. It's just a matter of educating as fast as I can.
Yeah. So, I mean, it seems like you've got a strong upbringing in this area, Jacksonville, Florida. You want to talk about that? Growing up here?
I was born in Jacksonville. My father he started out in Jacksonville as a musician, and as he grew up, he was pretty talented musician. Had a few regional touring bands. Then I was born, and he got married, and I was born shortly thereafter, which killed all of that fun touring around all over the place. My father's band they would tour all over the southeastern United States. They opened up for some pretty big bands in the 60s and 70s, including. Opened up for the Doors at the University of Florida once. They also opened up for Steppenwolf. I remember that one was fun. My dad telling those stories, and my mother. And then he had to get a real job, so he started a roofing company, and then did that for several years. And then my mother was in radio starting in the late '60s. Working for several, and started out just literally behind the receptionist desk to working her way up to station management, general management, and she was a big pioneer in Florida in radio. She starting in the '80s was the first woman to be the head of the Florida Broadcasters Association, and she was also the very first woman to in radio to be the executive producer of sports, which was the old United States Football League, the Jacksonville Bulls at the time. And she was the first one to do both of those.
So, your mom's Wonder Woman, basically.
Pretty much, pretty much. She
awesome.
She pioneered several different with things that are commonplace in radio now. Specifically, having entire promotional departments going in partnership with basically treating her listening area, her territory, her market as almost as a resource that you can tap into for different entertainment. So she created specific promotion departments specifically for certain avenues avenues of promotion for different groups, whether could be could be a band or a record label trying to make inroads in a certain marketplace, or it could be a lot of, to be honest, a lot of movie distribution houses came through and using the radio stations to help promote movies and I cannot tell you how many movie quote unquote premieres we did, and how some are pretty amazing. Before one of the most a couple really three real fun movie premieres. One, there was a movie that George Lucas made. It was a very kind of a small love story, kind of a not a love story. It's a love story to George Lucas. It was called Tucker, A Man in His Dreams. And
oh yeah, that's an old George Lucas. That's probably before Star Wars.
No, that was in the late '80s.
Okay.
It was Tucker was about a.
Jeff Bridges.
Jeff Bridges.
Okay,
yeah, Jeff Bridges. George, to promote that movie, George he owned 2 or 3, if I remember, 2 or 3 of the original Tucker cars that he sent them to Jacksonville to be at the movie premiere that we did. It was we were the first ones to premiere that movie. And then second, the other one that was 2 more really, really fun. One was Days of Thunder. The Days of Thunder, they sent both the City Chevrolet car and the Hardee's car. The end scene where Tom Cole Trickle is banging with Russ Wheeler at the last race when they're banging, and the Hardys when Tom Cruise slingshots past them. Those 2 cars came to our movie premiere, and we're sitting right out in front of the theater.
Days of Thunder.
Yeah, Days of Thunder cars.
Oh wow! I heard that there's a part 2 coming out soon.
Yes.
I
think Tom's closing off all of his open storylines with Mission Impossibles and now this one. And
they still can.
Yeah. And the third one that was the most fun was RoboCop.
Oh, I love RoboCop.
When RoboCop came out, the movie, the distribution house sent us 2 of the actual suits used by Peter Weller in the movie.
Was one of the suits the one that was shot up?
Yeah. There was 2. My mother used myself and my brother a lot of times on promotions, and so I got to go wear it around the one of our malls here at the time, and basically we used to. It was for, I want to say the charity was Wilson's Children's Hospital here in town. It's a children's hospital that runs basically on donations, and one of the things that they did to raise funds was they would go and have police go arrest people that were nominated to go place phone calls in a pretend jail in the middle of a mall. And so then they got from there, once they're in that jail, which someone would have to nominate them to go, in that jail they have to raise a certain amount of money before they get released. And it's a fun thing. My mother's radio station would always promote it and broadcast live from it, so everybody had fun. Yeah. Well, my job was to go around and arrest people in the RoboCop outfit. In one of the suits.
You fit it?
Yeah.
Perfectly?
Pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
And my brother, I was 17 at the time. My brother, who was 16 at the time, he was, I wish I would have known we would end up with this. I have pictures of it. He was sent out with one of the disc jockeys to one of the beach bars here down the street from here. And it's gone now, but back then. And my brother, at 16 years old, was out with the disc jockey at this beach bar, pouring shots for people in one of the RoboCop outfits.
Wow.
And so I'm not entirely sure that was legal. I don't think it was, but those were the 3.
It's a copyright offense.
Yeah, or maybe you're just not quite 21.
Can you imagine if like that incident happened nowadays on social media? Oh my God.
Yeah, but those were 3 really fun movie premieres that we did, and just having the props and some of the cars that were sent here, and it just goes to show, I mean, like I said, but my mother, how effective she was doing her radio career.
So you must have met some crazy celebrities. I mean, right?
Oh, yes.
So maybe you can relay just a celebrity horror story. You don't have to name names.
Okay.
But what's a celebrity horror story that you've encountered?
I'll keep the names out of it, but years ago, Florida, or Amelia Island, had a pro tennis tour event would come through called the Bausch and Lom's tennis championships. One of the top young male tennis players at the time was in town, and my mother was here for the tournament, and he happened to be dating a pretty famous actress, and she.
Was she famous at that time? Or was she like beginning to be famous?
Beginnings famous. She had been in several movies, several movies in the mid '80s, and
are you able
she
to
she became very famous in the '90s and early 2000s. And so,
are you able to give her acronym as her name?
Let's just go.
Her initials? What are the initials?
SJP. Let's just leave it there. Just leave it there.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
She was.
Do your guessing.
Yeah. So she was.
Your sleuth work.
My mother would send me oftentimes to go pick up whatever celebrities to come in and do interviews at the radio station if the radio station was sponsoring an event. And so I went to go pick up this tennis star and brought him down, and he was the greatest, coolest guy ever. And she was not, let's just say, she was not very into having to go to a local radio station or sit around and talk to a 17-year-old kid. And she just was not real thrilled with it. So, but other than that, the tennis star was a great guy. Had a good time talking with him.
Nice, nice. What about musician encounters? Any fun ones?
Oh gosh.
Regarding that?
Tons of them. Let me see. Yeah, the last one that I can say that I actually had was my mother's last little stint in radio. She was actually more or less volunteering as a promotional department for a friend of hers that owned an independent station here in town, and he was sponsoring an event with a concert with his Edwin McCain here in famous for his it was Dawson's Creek's theme song. It was called "I'll Be." Yes.
I'll be.
Yep. So my mother tapped me to go pick Edwin up from his tour bus and to bring him to the radio station to listen to basically do an interview and then take him back to the bus to the venue so he could just get ready for his show. So. My mother never missing an opportunity to push and promote something. My younger brother is a very talented musician still as well, but he had several demos out there, was this close to making it on his own, but never getting the opportunity to try to promote her son, my mother. And once we got Edwin into the car, promptly we start driving, and I see her reach in and stick a CD, my brother's demo, into my CD player in my car at the time and start playing and trying to sell my brother to Edwin McCain. So, and Edwin just said, it was as nice as he could be, was saying this was a, quote, not his cup of tea music-wise. My brother's band was very much early 2000s, late 90s grunge, and you can see Edwin's just
that's
not
good
that.
stuff. Come on.
Good. But Edwin was great. And one of my co-workers at the time, she had a big crush on Edwin McCain, and I loved his music and loved all of his music. And so from the car, I said, I put my cell phone on speakerphone, and we called her from the car. I said, hey, guess who I have in the car with me? And she said, who? And I had Edwin introduced himself, and she just froze. Absolutely froze and didn't believe it at first, but then after we talked to her, we actually had to sing "I'll Be" to her so she would believe him. And
got it.
And so he invited her to come see his show, and she said she couldn't. And he asked why. She couldn't make it.
What?
She just
She's
couldn't make it. She said she was going to be.
She's probably his only fan.
Now, maybe. Yeah. So
the one subscriber on his OnlyFans.
Yeah, he was prying her to find out, what else have you got to do? And she goes, well, I'm busy, but what else? What doing what? And she said, nothing. So you said you're busy, you can't make it because you're busy doing nothing. And he's actually joking and stuff. You do realize you're about to become a song, right?
Yeah, the song is called "I'll Be Doing Nothing."
Yes, exactly. I'll be busy doing nothing.
Yeah.
But that was fun, and Edwin was great too. I went and dropped him off, picked my wife up. We went back to the show, hung out with Edwin on the bus afterwards for a little bit, and where the real concert, I guess, happened after the main concert. But it was a lot of fun.
Nice. So, going back to, I guess, family, right? It seems like your parents are just You're like trailblazers. So, like, maybe you can talk a little bit about the values that they instilled in you in your life.
Just my father. Unfortunately, my father passed away when in 1992. He had developed lung cancer after a lifetime of smoking. Yeah. But my dad was always just at the end. He was diagnosed with cancer at just basically on my 21st birthday.
Wow.
And was given basically thought process initially after diagnosis was he might not make it till Christmas. His lung cancer was that aggressive. So, but he fought it, and made it all the way till the following June. And that his fight to stay and protect his family was one thing that's always stuck with me, especially around my wife and my daughter. And then number two, and my mother, just the pushing to put herself out there, and several of the things that she had done with her career allow to say, to always look at the opportunities to see what a way you can improve yourself or a way to improve someone else. And so like going back to some of the things that my mother did, she was able to lobby the Egyptian government to basically send the Ramses II traveling exhibit, which included Ramses II's mummified remains and his sarcophagus, along with all of his memorabilia, his possessions. She lobbied to have that come to little old Jacksonville, Florida in the mid 80s, and it worked, and it was here for about 6-7 weeks. And then also helped lobby the city to create the Jacksonville Duval County War Memorial, which was basically anybody and everybody that was killed in a conflict all the way back to the Revolutionary War, up to current times at downtown Jacksonville, right outside of the stadium. I guess we're lucky.
Are they lucky?
I'm not sure.
Do they bring money?
I don't know.
Do they bring commissions?
Do they make? Hopefully they don't.
I've never seen this kind of bug before. What is this bug?
I don't know. That's a good one. Welcome to Florida.
All right. Okay. Hopefully you don't give me COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jacksonville. So going back to, I guess, your current occupation with GWV. Where do you see the company headed in the next upcoming years?
I see with the products coming down the line and then the superiority of our products and design, I see us being thoroughly dominant and dominant. One thing I do hear a lot is that from shop owners or distributors, is especially in the vape market, is that if we don't, a product will hit and it'll become popular for a little while, and then there's no support for it in the marketplace, and then it just kind of dies off. But with us, our model, we're more. I've worked many years as a manufacturer's rep for different companies, in different industries. One thing that how you keep and grow is you have to have support. The owner, whether it's a distributor or an owner of a restaurant or a smoke shop or a whatever, if they know they can get some support from you, they're going to be loyal to you. And another business mentor years ago told me there's 3 reasons to maintain a business relationship. One is I'm helping make you money, save you money, or make your life easier.
Oh, sorry about that. That's don't worry about that.
But make you money, save you money, or make your life easier. Yeah. Now, if I'm able to do 2 of those things, I've got you for life. If I can do all 3, I'm a legend. And with these opportunities with these shops, I can make you money, I can save you money, and I'm making your life easier by making sure you've got the best products that for your customers that you can reliably promote them to them, and know that we're going to be here forever. So that's how we roll. That's just how I roll.
No, it makes sense to me. Makes sense to me. So little birdie told me that you once used to be a tour bus driver for. You don't have to name the singer.
Yeah, no,
right?
yeah, no.
But
yes, a family member family, extended family member. Back when I like to call it, he was a JV celebrity. Before getting to the varsity leagues. Yes, I was an illegal tour bus driver.
Illegal tour
because I wanted to
non-mandated, no license.
So I wanted to be able to say that I did it at least once. So I did it a couple of times during a 3-week stretch when I was on the road with him, and concluding down in South Florida when I decided I had called my mother and told her that I had to come home now. The partying was too much.
How old were you?
I was 22 at the time.
Gosh.
22 at the time. But luckily, when I did come home, a few weeks later, I had met my wife for the first time. When I just started working bartending at a Bennigan's, and my wife was a newly hired hostess. So after a few weeks of a few dates, then we've been together ever since. So that was 1993 to now.
Wow! Congratulations.
Oh,
that's a rarity.
Yep, I'm pretty.
Awesome.
I feel for her.
Then I guess I have to feel for her too.
Yeah.
Any crazy incidents that happened during that tour?
Oh. Again, we shall not name names. When I had mentioned, I told you that I had called my mother to come meet me in South Florida to pick me up and take me home because I just could not be on the road anymore. And I told her it was the combination of the drinking and the women and the drinking and the women and drink. It was blurring into. I'm not sure how I survived.
Wow!
But
by the grace of God.
Yeah, but I did tell I told my mother and my mother and my aunt are pretty funny people, and so they come down to South Florida. My cousin is actually doing an opening of a new country western bar, and he's basically, it's the opening night. He's the headliner on a concert there. So we get there. We set up. We're doing the show. My mother and my aunt. I had told them about the girls, and so. It was, of course, concerned mothers. You guys are being safe, correct? I said I defined safe, and so this became a huge thing. So my cousin's finishing up his show, and it's you're talking maybe 200 or 300 people in this club. My mother and my aunt started throwing condoms on the stage at him.
Okay.
It was very funny, especially once he realized what was being thrown to him.
And from who?
And from who? And then the reaction of him and the band, and then once the people in the crowds realized what was happening, it became pretty. Everybody shared a big laugh.
Got it. Were there any violent, crazy incidents?
Oh yes. We had a crazy incident where he was performing at a small local fair, and at this fair, he didn't have much of his own music yet. So most of his set was cover songs, and he was finished doing. He had just started his encore with his cover song, and I'm standing off to the side of the stage and we're just watching him. And he gets up, he starts to sing. And then he goes diving into the crowd, and the first thing I'm thinking of, there is no stage diving in country music. And then
he was the first.
Yeah, maybe
the pioneer.
Pioneer. I think we're merging Pearl Jam and country. So I see him dive into the crowd, and I see this huge commotion, and I instinctively dive in right behind him. And after me comes his tour manager, and so. The story.
You guys did the security work.
We could not find the security for a good while, so we finished up. I see his arm pumping up and down like a sewing machine on the guy, and after I grab him, pull him off, the guy that he's hitting grabs me, and I instinctively hit him and I knock him out, but with a shot to the side of his head.
Wow.
I grabbed his sister and pulled her out of a pile, and found out the story was a guy got into an argument with his girlfriend. He was very intoxicated, was standing right next to his my family member's sister right in front of the stage. This guy went to go punch his girlfriend. His girlfriend ducked the punch, and he hit my cousin's sister right in the face.
Horrible.
And so that's what he saw. And that's what he saw, and that's what prompted him to dive into the crowd. And so And funny, afterwards, we actually calming down on the bus afterwards and said, hey, I probably knocked that guy out, and you're going to get sued for it. Sorry.
But nothing ever transpired after that, right? As far as legal.
Yeah, no, everything was okay.
Okay, good. Yeah. So we randomly play Kiss, Marry, Kill on this show.
Okay. Yeah.
So, okay, let me throw out the 3 choices for you.
Sure.
All right. Who'd you marry, kiss, or kill? Madonna is one choice. Okay. Jennifer Lopez is second choice, and Sarah Jessica Parker is third choice.
Okay.
Kiss, marry, kill.
All right. Kill. I'm not sure.
You're not sure who you'd kill?
I'm pretty
sure you would know who to
yeah, I'm gonna. I'll probably go with the kill of Sarah Jessica Parker.
Okay, good.
If I had kiss, I'd probably do Madonna, and then Mary would probably be Jennifer Lopez.
Okay, yeah. Good man, good taste. I agree with all his choices.
Yep.
Okay. Well, brother, thank you for your time and your stories. All good fun.
Yep. Thank you, Don.
Appreciate your time, man.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Not so bad, right?
No.